Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. Let's talk about the suspended IPO of the Ant Group in China and the kind of lessons or opportunity that it provides for India in order to attract international capital and international investors to India. The Ant Group or Ant happens to be China's fintech giant. It has been promoted by the Alibaba Group, which happens to be China's e-commerce giant, and its promoter is a popular former teacher called Jack Ma. Jack Ma is the second richest man of China, and the fact is that in China you don't make billions, you can't float a large giant enterprise, you can't be such a rich man unless you have had state support and state patronage, which of course Jack Ma has had abundantly till his luck ran out. His luck ran out when the Chinese authorities suspended the $35 billion record IPO of Ant merely 2 days before its rollout. And by then, it had received subscriptions to the tune of $3 trillion, which happens to be more than India's GDP. Ant owns a popular technology platform, and that platform does matchmaking for banks and their borrowers. The platform analyzes data of customers on 3,000 data points, and it helps banks and financial institutions to decide whether to give loans to borrowers and at what rates. It's a very popular platform, and it is used today by more than 100 banks and financial institutions in China. And so far, through the platform of Ant, 500 million loans have been given to various persons. Because of the Ant platform and because of this kind of matchmaking it does, so far, consumer loans to the tune of $253 billion have been given in China, and small business loans to the tune of $63 billion have been given and disbursed. With this kind of a platform, with this kind of a popularity, Ant enjoys some kind of a monopoly in China's financial system, and that threatens the Communist Party of China. Moreover, apart from this threat of being too big, being some kind of a monopoly, Jack Ma also happens to be an independent, outspoken person, known to speak his mind, known to do plain speaking, some kind of a sacrilege in China, and that is what was the undoing of Ant's IPO. The fact of the matter is that Ant has been facing increased scrutiny from the Chinese central bank since 2018, but that did not undo its fortunes. It only grew in leaps and bounds. What led to the suspension of the Ant IPO and got Ant and Jack Ma on the wrong side of the law was a speech by Jack Ma at a conference on 24th October. He did some plain speaking, not really by Indian standards, but certainly by Chinese standards. He spoke his mind. He was candid in expressing his comments. He was outspoken. And that is anathema and a sacrilege as far as China is concerned, whose authorities brook no criticism of any sort. In that speech, Jack Ma was critical of the global authorities, and he said that they focus too much on risk, because of which the sector gets enough hurdles. He was then very critical of the Chinese authorities. He said that they stifle innovation. He further said that China lacks an ecosystem, and that Chinese banks, because of that, are like pawn shops due to their archaic and outdated lending policies that are there. His criticism was certainly not warranted, particularly so when the Chinese Communist Party was going to meet a few days later in order to decide the direction of the Chinese economy in the next 15 years. Jack Ma's speech got him on the CPC's radar, and so did the Ant IPO. The IPO was rolled out just a few days later. More than $3 trillion worth of subscriptions had been received from retail investors, a huge record of sorts, and its shares were being traded at a 50% premium in the grey market. Its shares were going to be listed on the Shanghai and the Hong Kong stock markets. It was just 2 days away when the Chinese Securities Regulatory Commission authorities called Jack Ma for a dressing down. The authorities said that by virtue of the draft regulations of the banking regulator, which are going to be in effect from the 2nd of December, The business model and the business structure and profitability model of Ant is now going to have a major impact. It renders most of the loans given through the Ant platform completely non-compliant with the proposed new regulations of the banking regulator. And what was the regulation? The proposed regulation was that in case of a fintech company, if any loans have been given through the fintech platform, then the fintech company must take a minimum 30% stake in the loans given. It must have that kind of an exposure. And as far as Ant was concerned, its exposure to loans given through its platform was a mere 2%. Because of that, the Chinese security regulator said that it will have a huge impact on Ant's business model, and thus they said that they are suspending its IPO. The regulator said that it is preventing a hasty listing of the Ant IPO, and that in a change environment it needs to be looked at all over again. It further said that it was a responsible move, and it defended itself by saying that this move was necessary in the interest of the market and also in the interest of the investors. After this move by the Chinese security regulator, the Chinese banking regulator said that the business of Ant is more like a credit card with just higher charges, and that if it wants to continue to be in the business of being a fintech company under the new regulations, it will need at least 2.7 times more capital than what it already has, thus indicating that perhaps Ant is not even going to be qualified to conduct such a business under the new regulations. Because of these announcements, Shanghai Stock Exchange suspended the listing of the Ant IPO, and then Ant on its own decided not to go ahead with the listing of its IPO on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The IPO thus went into cold storage indefinitely, not knowing when it is going to be resurrected. Some say that the IPO has been delayed but not destroyed, but then we would think that value of Ant has certainly been destroyed by this move of the Chinese government. The fact of the matter is that the Chinese government is equal to the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party controls the government with an iron hand in a one-party system. And this arbitrary move, this illegal move went completely unchallenged. Even the state-controlled media, as expected, supported the move, and it said that it was necessary in order to protect public interest. The Communist Party of China sees Ant as a threat to itself by virtue of its monopoly, by virtue of its domination of the financial system of China. It also sees it as a threat to China's stability of its financial system. But most importantly, when any private company grows too big and it is not sufficiently under the domination and control of the Communist Party of China, it is going to be cut to size. And that is what happened in the case of Ant. It was cut to size. This postponement of the IPO certainly resulted in immense destruction of value of Ant as well as Alibaba. The shares of Alibaba fell by virtue of this move of the Chinese government, and uncertainty prevails whether and if this kind of a $35 billion IPO will come out or not. That speech of Jack Ma on 24th October caused damages to the tune of actually $35 billion. It proved to be so expensive for Jack Ma. We see a larger picture here, and we see a larger picture in terms of lessons and opportunities for India in order to market itself to international investors as probably a better market than the Chinese capital markets. The first issue is that this kind of an ambush, this kind of a cold-blooded suspension of a large IPO just days before it's rolling out is unheard in India. India's netas are no less arbitrary, they can be no less illegal. Even India's babus can be extremely arbitrary, but then they are all governed by a law of the land. We have a constitution in the country which China does not have. And by virtue of that, if this kind of a suspension of an IPO had taken place in India at the last moment after having been cleared by all the authorities, then the company promoters could have rushed to the court. They could have rushed to the court and got relief immediately. Such kind of arbitrary illegal actions would not have got upheld by courts in India. They would have also got media support. The media too would have rallied in support. So would be the case of investors who would have protested. India can thus project itself to be a far more stable and predictable environment in the capital markets with a reliable recourse in case there is any such arbitrary action or move by the authorities concerned, which China lacks, which Ant's case shows. Therefore, India should take this opportunity and say that we are a more stable and predictable nation and that international investors must come to India. Of course, this comes with the fact borne in mind that we have also had a lot of arbitrary actions on the taxation front in particular, but notwithstanding that, we think it's an opportunity for India. The second is that China has no constitution. China has no rule of the law. It is the Chinese Communist Party which decides what the rule will be, and that is followed. And because of that, there is no defined rights available to the citizens, to the entities of the country. If it was India, Jack Ma could have gone to the courts, cited the laws and the regulations, and got relief. But in China, he did not do that. And he did not file any court cases against the government authorities, knowing very well that if they did that, the chances of an IPO are going to be finished forever. Therefore, India is a land of recourses in case there are illegal actions. And particularly, if you have the resources, you have the money, then the recourse that is available is certainly a plenty in number. Therefore, India also needs to emphasize that. Further, China was completely indifferent to the response of the international investors. It was indifferent to any kind of an international backlash when it decided to abruptly suspend the IPO of Ant. In India, we would be certainly mindful and sensitive to this kind of a backlash, this kind of a criticism coming from all kinds of quarters, whether domestic investors or international investors. And that also is an opportunity for India to market. The fact is that India is a land of recourse. You have courts, you have media, you have public, and there is a voice. And that helps this kind of arbitrary action from being prevented. The only fact is that the recourse that we have often does get misused. And that's where all our claims of being a land of a better situation than China, they get muted in the process. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.